I was on one of those mind-numbing phone calls about zoning or planning or paperwork that needed to be filled out for a project, and I was doodling, and I think the doodle was more or less a stack of file cabinets. And I think it was about that time when I was thinking about basically the bureaucracy and dialogue around that. Like, it was a big topic. Each drawer on the tower represents 1 year of planning in the history of the Beltway's southern connector. So when it was installed in 2001, it was reflecting on, I think, 40 or 44 years of history.
This project has been underway for about 50 years. The project started out as a 4-lane, high-speed divided highway. We have successfully transitioned this into a 25-mile-an-hour, 2-lane, multimodal city street. Now have a viable path to get this under construction mid to late next year.
The Southern Connector, now called the Champlain Parkway, has still yet to have any more construction done to it. All that exists is this stretch of road behind me. The locals use it as a skate park. Just like the filing cabinet, this road has been left alone for so long that graffiti is covering the surface. If you look below the surface level, this filing cabinet tells the story of government failing in some very unique ways.
Every time a drawer is open, it indicates when something significant happens in the planning process. So one side of the tower, which would be the east side, has what I'm going to refer to as hieroglyphics, like looking at this piece as an obelisk. So there's an icon on the side that represents why the drawer is open. So notable example would be when 26 houses were taken away. So there's just a little symbol of the house crossed out, and then the drawer is open. So the year that decision was made to take away people's homes in order to allow the Beltway to come through.
The filing cabinet has become a very popular tourist attraction. People from all over the country have come to see it and take pictures. There is no plaque on site here to tell people about the purpose of the filing cabinet. This leads many people to create their own version of what the filing cabinet means.
Yeah, I saw it in the top things to do in the Vermont Google. It's pretty unique. I wonder why.
What is the purpose?
Oh, how many filing cabinets? If I make more filing cabinets and second on top, is that art? Is that more, you know, bigger and better than this one, you know? I mean, it's somebody put filing cabinets on top of another and like called it art. Is it art? Debatable.
Well, I mean, it's interesting in just this period of time or history that we're living in. I mean, how we lived on files of paper to record, you know, records and history, and how that's all changed to this era of digital. And I see this as a monument of sort of the past, and now that giant pile can basically be condensed down into a small amount of disk space. So this is, you know, this is like symbolic of the change that we're undergoing in the world right now.
It gets attention for being so tall, which, yeah.
Does that feel good?
It seems really funny. Like I would never go to a place just to see the tallest whatever. It's just a point of curiosity that for that reason you go see it. But you know, I've written to Google a couple times to say this is a monument to bureaucracy. This is not, you know, maybe it is the world's tallest filing cabinet. Well, you know, I mean, when you put your artwork out there, then people are, you know, whatever the interpretation is, I guess, is what it is. So I'm not critical of it. It's just like not my favorite interpretation of it.
Bren denied my request to do an interview at the filing cabinet. She said she was not happy with its current location. I later caught up to her and got her to explain what she meant.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it needs to be kind of in a wilder meadow, like in anticipation of something in anticipation of the road coming. And so the fact that it's kind of in a parking lot, this doesn't feel right. Angry is just like uncomfortable, and it's also because I know people come to look at it and they stand there and they look at it and it's so tall, they would start walking backwards and filming it or photographing it or whatever. And it's just like, okay, so, there are cars there. So it just kind of offends my sensibilities as a space planner.
Despite the public perception, it's artworks like these that bring people together. Every town has something quirky like this, and these structures are what makes your town a community.
We actually have a stamp. It's called the free stamp, and it's a huge structure that has the word free on it. It looks like one of those stamps that you stamp on office paper. And it's unique, and people that come to Cleveland take a ride past it.
In Westford, Vermont, near where I live, near Fairfax, and it's a giant wooden middle finger. It's a middle finger carved out of wood that this guy put up because Westford wouldn't allow him to build a recycling plant. So all the money he fundraised and saved up, he put to building this middle finger, put it on a giant podium on the side of the busiest road around, and so it's just there. And so when people drive through, they just see a giant wooden middle finger, and it's very hilarious.
So I live along Interstate 80, and for a few years now, there's this man who owns a farm along there, and he's just been painting these satellite dishes. He collects old used satellite dishes, paints them, and puts them up along the highway. There's now a good quarter mile just covered in these painted satellite dishes. So I guess that would be the closest equivalent that we have.
No matter what people call it, this filing cabinet has brought the community around it and has made a life of its own. In fact, this filing cabinet isn't even the world's tallest one. There's a similar filing cabinet located in San Francisco that is about 20 feet higher than this one. So in the end, it's not the name or the size of the artwork that matters. It's what it means to the community of Burlington.
100%. 100% a life of its own. So the South End is now considered an arts district. So there's something nice, I think, about it being one of the defining pieces of the South End of Burlington. And I think that just generates excitement. So yeah, it totally has a life of its own. Yeah.
The story behind this filing cabinet is rich and complex, but I guarantee you that your community has something special like this in it. So I encourage you, go out in your community and find something that makes it special and learn about it. You may just be surprised at what you find.